Welcome to Kill the DJ, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. We're going to talk about internet drama and the arrest made over the GTA 6 leaks.
Just like you saw on our last stream, we really were boring, but we'll fix that in this stream.
Yes, we will. We will also be getting better insight into one of the lives. We will also be getting better insight into the life of one of our favorite, most out there teachers, who you will find out later. Welcome to segment 1 of Kill the DJ, and thank you Get More for sponsoring this video. Today we interview one of SFT's most favorite out there teachers named Mr. Terry.
Oh, it's recording?
Yeah.
Hey.
So, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Okay. So we'd like to start off by asking you a few questions. Could you just tell us about yourself?
Like just general knowledge?
Yes.
Should I look at you or the camera?
Probably just me or Don.
Okay. Cool. Hi.
Cool.
Hello. My name is Derek Michael Terry. I go by Mr. Terry here at the school. I am a teacher. It's my 10th year as a teacher. Sorry. I do have a little bit of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which means I get distracted easily. So even though I'm talking to you right now, I really want to know, what is Dream World Limited Edition?
I really don't know, but it
Did
tastes
you try
good.
it?
Yeah, it's
What does
good.
it taste like?
Like cotton candy, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty good. It's like
Coca-Cola cotton candy.
pretty much.
Interesting.
And I don't really know what even Dream World's about or like who it's supporting. but
Gotcha. It's not
Supporting
Juice
Dream
World
World.
though.
Hopefully not. That would be a little
Yeah,
messed
that's
up.
good. See, I like how you took the distraction away.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yep.
You'll be a good father someday. Other than that, I have 2 children, Jade and Tegan Terry. I am engaged. I got engaged last month. So
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I love filming and acting and that kind of stuff. And
Okay.
yeah, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to ask you another question.
I will answer
that. That is great.
Good.
Because me and Don were talking before this. I'm getting sidetracked again.
Sure.
About how you could either just say, like, you're going to answer or just say no. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll answer.
Okay.
I will answer all questions, no matter how uncomfortable.
Okay. Sounds good. Because
Okay.
we've.
Did you say mkay, mgay?
Okay.
Okay, got it.
So I think that one of your students' favorite things about you is your ability to be out there and just be yourself and like talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
But you've made it clear to most of your students that outside of school and like outside of this building, you are not like that. You are kind of antisocial in that aspect. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so I used to be really social when I was younger, when I was your age. Yeah, kind of like I had literally a shirt that said "Life of the Party," and it was a true statement. As I'm 37. As I grow older, I find most social interactions to be quite uncomfortable. I have a lot of anxiety that I did not have as a child, and maybe I had it as a teenager or young adult, but I was probably self-soothing and self-medicating, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So now that I don't do those things, I don't know. I find social, like here, I know what my role is. So my role as a teacher, I know that I'm supposed to be doing things, a specific set of things, and so I understand the call and response. If I'm out in Walmart and like you just pop in and you're like, "Hey, Mr. Terry," I see you walking up to me and it's like maybe you or you and your family. I don't really know what to do. Like the whole interaction of like, "Hey, how are you doing?" "Oh, hey, I'm doing well. How are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing good. Different, same crap, different day." Or, "Oh, it's how about that weather?" I just find the whole thing very uncomfortable. I don't really think that either. I'm sure there are people who enjoy that kind of thing, but I don't really like small talk. So like the "Hi, how are you doing?" thing, I don't really care. So I don't really want to talk about it because I don't care. Now, if you came up to me and you're like, "Hey, have you read the latest news on quantum mechanics?" and or like talking about like different alternate realities or something that's interesting and deep, I would definitely engage with that. but the social aspect of like greeting someone you know in a public place, I find, well, not terrifying. I used to find it terrifying. I would like leave places specifically. Like there was one time I was going Christmas shopping several years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I went to the mall, specifically drove from Scranton to Topeka to get some gifts at the mall. Walk into the mall, see a group of 6, 7 kids, say, "Hey, Mr. Terry," and they're like waving at me. And I immediately turn around and walk out of the mall, get in my car, drive home. And I didn't do anything. I spent 10 seconds in the mall. And just in that small interaction, I'm like, I don't want to then leave and then go in another part of the mall, and then because I'll probably see them again. So I just left. So yeah, I'm definitely not as like outgoing as people probably think that I am. And really probably teachers feel that because I don't really have a lot of like, or any relationships with any other educators here. So
Yeah.
I teach I treat other teachers kind of the way that I normally am because I feel like I have to be on for students. I don't really feel like I need to be on for adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't know if it like makes me come across to other people like adults as being like kind of a douche or something, like, oh, like he always seems upset or mad, or why doesn't he ever, like, you know, the teachers will like group up in the hallways and be like 5 minutes late to class. Like I just don't do that. Like I just want to get in the classroom, do my job. At 3:30 I want to go home and I don't want to really talk to anybody.
Yeah, I have noticed that because there's always a group of teachers, typically like Officer Moran and the science teachers, that they'll all group up at the end of this hallway, but you just,
I walk directly past them.
yes, without even like saying a word or looking at
Yeah.
them, which I always found kind of interesting about you.
Yeah.
I believe Dominic told me, I think in my freshman year, or our freshman year,
Yeah.
or sophomore year, one of the two, me and Dominic were in Walmart getting some stuff,
Uh-huh.
and he told me that he saw you and like did a very overly exaggerated wave at
It
you.
was
I
a
don't know.
joke, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that or not.
I don't.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was joking with me or not. But he said that you like immediately turned around and left, and I was like,
Yeah.
and that angered me because you specifically told us in the class it was acting, which is a class
Yeah.
we don't have anymore. But you specifically told us like, do not wave at me or
Yeah.
shout across malls to
Yeah.
just. You told us to do exactly this. You told us to kind of go
Yes.
like just a head nod.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did
Just-
not do that. It was a joke.
Yeah. Well,
I was messing with you.
I've definitely gotten and some people have said the opposite. So there will be times when, because like I get the freshmen every year, right? Every freshman comes through oral communication. So I will get, like that's part of my syllabus instructions. Hey, you might think that I'm like this in the classroom. If you see me in public, do not, like if you see me first, then just walk the other way or walk by me and do that nod, and that's it. We don't need to have any other interaction. If I see you first, then you probably won't see me because I'm going to duck out before you even notice that I'm there. But there have been times in the past where I actually will engage with people, and they're surprised because I'm actually going up to them. I notice them, and I'm actually going up to them. I'm trying to do that more because I realize that it's probably not it's not that it's unhealthy, but it's certainly not healthy either to just like shy away from that kind of stuff. Shameless 21 Pilots plug. But yeah, so I mean, it really does depend on my mood. You know, it
Yeah.
really does. Like if I'm in a spirited mood, if I'm going to the grocery store and I'm feeling energetic or I'm feeling pretty self-confident, and I see somebody whom I like and want to talk with, or at least want to acknowledge them, then I will. But most of the time, probably I'd say 80 to 90% of the time, I probably won't even see you either because I have like tunnel vision in the grocery store. Just being in the grocery store in general stresses me out.
I'm going to check my notes.
Yeah, check it.
Because my mind is blanking as to what the next topic is.
Absolutely.
Your life as a film director.
That was the third topic, but we
Okay.
can talk about that now.
Okay.
You have told us a lot about your like film past, how you have gone to New York to film things, and
Yeah.
you've made your own movies and short films and things such as that. So
Yeah.
could you tell us like some about that or that
Sure.
segment of your life?
Yeah, that started off as just acting. So I wanted to be a bone and nerve surgeon when I was a kid. And then I saw Ace Ventura: Pet Detective with Jim Carrey. And then as soon as I saw that, I was like, I want to do that. And so that changed my mind. So I've wanted to be an actor since I was about 7 or 8. And so I got my first film camera when I was 12 for Christmas. My mom got it for me. And I would just like film everything. Like any classroom assignment, I would always ask, hey, can I do this as a film? And usually I'd get told yes. And so when I got my license, like it would be in the trunk of my car. I'd be spending money on like the little tapes that I put in my video camera. And I just film like pretty much everything. And so my brother and I created a television show called the Ramrod Show, which we were kind of like, I would be the host, and then he would dress up as different guests, and then he would be the host sometimes, and I would dress up as different guests, and we had to come up with our backstory and like why we were there as a guest, and if the host, so myself or my brother, didn't feel that the story was exciting enough or believable, behind the desk we would have like baseball bats, balls, different things to hit each other with. So we'd just beat each other up if we didn't like what the other person came up with. And that was called You Got Ramrodded. So we did that. I made a lot of like short films that really just for our friends. And then, I was an actor in a couple of like different commercials and independent films and just, some small stuff, like nothing on the big screen. And then, when I won Teacher of the Year 2018, they gave me the opportunity to travel anywhere in the United States to study whatever I wanted to or go to a conference. And I chose to go to the New York Film Academy. And that's where I had always, KU was great. I went to film school at KU, but I had already had kids by then, and I had already knew that I was going to become a teacher. So everything that I did there was like to that end, like was to become a teacher, wasn't really to become a filmmaker. So that's still something that I'm like developing. Like I've done some things, yes, but I have not done what I set out to do when I was younger. And it's nice being with Hester, my fiance now, because she really supports that and like pushes that and wants me to start writing again and filming. And so I'm hopeful that once I've been with her for a while and kind of got that confidence back, that I'll actually start doing things. But it's kind of like a double-edged sword too, because at the same time it's like now that I teach film, it's like now I am kind of it's almost like when I think about writing or filmmaking outside of school, now I'm linking it to school to work. So before I wanted to write, I wanted to make films, I wanted to act because it was my thing, it was my hobby. Now that it's my job, it's kind of harder to do outside of work because I've now connected that to work. So I feel like I've done a little bit of a disservice to myself because of that mindset that I have that, I feel like I don't want to do filmmaking or writing outside of school because it's not a hobby anymore, that's my job. And, I do love teaching, but at the same time, like, does anybody really like to work? I love my job, but it's not my, like, passion, so.
I believe that your opinions are extremely valid upon like teaching wise and such as like your own hobbies, because usually you would think that people would have their hobbies split from whatever work they want to do, so you could actually get those things done whenever you got free time.
Yeah.
But I understand where you're coming from, where you're making it more kind of like work and you don't really want to do that.
Yeah. So now it's like I feel like when I get home, I just want to watch other people who have made films and acted, Like that's really my hobby, is watching films and television shows, which, it's fine. Like I have a lot of knowledge about those things, but at the same time, like sometimes I get a little depressed when I watch it because I'm like, I could very well be doing that and I'm not. And instead I'm wasting my time watching other people do it,
Yeah, I can relate to that because I have been trying to like come up with my own ideas and my own scripts to make my own film, and as you know, I've been trying to get that camera whenever I have the funds to do so.
Yeah.
and I go home and I watch all of these YouTube short films that aren't even on like TV or
Yeah.
movies or anything, and it's just like there's one called 18. It's about 30 minutes long, and that's one of my favorite ones I've watched. And every time like I get on and start watching those, it's like I could be doing this, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So I do understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. Then so you get motivated, but at the same time, it's not motivation enough to actually do it.
Yeah.
So then you just get depressed about it because you know that you could be doing it, but you're not. It's kind of a vicious circle.
Yeah, because it's one thing to write a script and make a storyboard and get everything
Yeah.
set up, and then there's another thing where you have to actually follow through
Carry
and
it
film
out.
it. And
Yeah.
that's where people typically get lazy and just don't want to do it.
Yeah. And I feel like actors, like finding actors is a big part of like not doing it either because it's like we don't really live in a place that's doing a lot of this, you know? So
Yeah.
you don't have money to pay an actor, and so the actors that you have to get are going to have to work for free, so they're probably going to be your friends who aren't really taking it seriously. So is it going to be a good product?
Yeah, so you've got to find friends or family, and there's one thing to find someone who can act in a film.
Yeah.
It's another thing to find someone who can do it well.
Yeah.
So somebody could try and do it, but make it not seem real.
That's why I think film school is actually really important because I feel like what we're talking about right now is a big thing that artists do a lot, where it's like they have all these dreams and these aspirations and these ideas, but they're lazy and they don't want to carry them out. And so school, going to film school, like focuses that energy. You have to do this because it's an assignment. But the other thing about film school is it's like everyone around you is doing the same thing. So it's like you have actors, you have someone to be your cinematographer, you have, you know, all these people that are around you in film school loving the same thing. And so it's really immersive. Like I think if I would have went to film school right out of high school, I would have definitely probably done something. But I went to film school in like my mid-20s when I already had kids. So I went to work, went to school, and then went home. I didn't have any time to make a film or be in anybody else's films. I just learned all about the other side of film. Basically, it helped me become a teacher. So yeah.
Segment 5 called Games with the DJ. Yeah. Recently, the biggest leak in video game history has happened. GTA 6 has been leaked by a 17-year-old boy in Europe. Dominic, you knew Europe. Syrup.
Yep.
You seem to know more things about this than I do. So can you give us some better insight on it?
Really, all he did was leak, and I'm doing leak because he technically, but also did not do it. He put out the map, which was already all over the internet already, before he even did it, because people got really a gist of it. And throughout a whole bunch of the new characters and everything else. That's why most people on TikTok get their inspiration for talking about the GTA 6 leaks.
Now, I actually don't agree with Dominic here because I did some research of my own, and he reportedly leaked way over 90 videos of GTA 6 and unrendered game clips and just things that haven't or weren't supposed to be released yet. So have you actually done any
I've seen some
research?
of those,
Or you
yes.
have you done any research though, actually?
Partially.
Partially. Okay.
Partially. I knew mostly about it before, most of the time, before you even brought it up.
Yeah, partially, sure.
Partially.
Yeah, and Rockstar Games actually got the FBI onto this, so it was no kind of joking matter. They got the FBI to find this guy, go up to his house, and arrest him. He was only 17, and he's probably in jail, facing a huge fine.
Being sued, most likely.
Most likely sued, probably for $2 million, but it's just
Probably more than that.
He just needs a small loan. It's nothing serious. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for segment 2. It is the joke segment where we're going to go out. It's time for segment 2, which is the joke segment, where we're going to go out into the halls and the wilderness of our school. We're going to find someone to tell us a joke. So Dominic, we need to grab one of these cameras and make our way out. Okay. I got a joke.
So, man,
Oh, got you. Get out of here.
there's two dudes in a bar, and one gets a drink, and he hops out the window, and he starts floating. It's pretty crazy, right? Other guy's like, oh, I want what he has. And then he jumps out the window, and he dies because he, jumped out the window. And the bartender said, Superman, you're a
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to drop a like. And if you're feeling like a cool kid, you should subscribe and like comment, because you're cool, right? You're cool, right? Then do it. You should subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, bro. Subscribe right now. Bye.